For the second game in the row, the Sharks pull off a crazy third period comeback. This time against one of the best teams in the league in Calgary. We'll break it down. We'll hopefully get an update about Timo Meier and maybe an update from the Barracuda. Right now, this is Teal Town After Dark. Good evening, everyone. It is March 22nd, 2022, and the San Jose Sharks pull off another come-from-behind victory, this time against the Calgary Flames, 4-3, your final score. Welcome to Teal Town After Dark. This is your live interactive Sharks postgame. We do this after each and every game, home and away. So if you want to be part of the show, chat with us and fellow Sharks fans on the page or the app. Follow us on the social, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, YouTube. Smash that subscribe button. SoundCloud, Reddit, Discord, and find everything at tealtownusa.com. And you'll be introducing and interacting with a new friend of the show. You've seen her in the chat many times. Say hello to Miss Dana Meyerson. How are you, Dana?
Hi, I'm good. Concerned about Meier, but great game, so lots to dive into.
Awesome. Yeah, concerned about Meier. We'll get to that in just a little bit, but overall, any initial thoughts that you got from this one? I mean, this one was all over the place tonight.
Yeah, it was. When it started out and Calgary had the first two goals, I was like, okay, the Sharks are bad. It's going to be a real easy night for me. Just a nice softball. I can go in and say boo and head out. But unfortunately, they played well at times. But yeah, a lot going on. I guess a few things. First of all, Sharks allowing the fourth game in a row with a power play goal allowed.
Oh, yeah.
You can keep talking about this Sharks penalty. I mean, I guess, still, it's like we're late enough in the year that like one goal doesn't make a difference for the average. Yeah, I get it. We're still third in the league or whatever. But we're going to miss Cogs on that penalty kill.
Yeah, that was one thing I was bummed about when we lost Cogliano to Colorado, but it makes sense for that. But you know what, the Sharks, everybody say, oh, you'll never recover from Barclay Goodrow on the PK or anything like that. So, but yeah, to get things going, Milosh takes a slashing call, about 4 minutes in, and then Johnny Gaudreau. I mean, it was nice when he kicked it to himself from a nice pass from Tkachuk to make it 1-0 Calgary. But yeah, I was like you. I was like, oh shoot, not this early again. And then almost 4 minutes later, Dubé makes it 2-0. Like, no, they're getting pinned in their own zone. It's like I'm having shades of like Nashville, of the Nashville game. That can't happen, Dana. That can't happen.
No. Well, it can, and it did. But not tonight.
Yes. Thankfully, made it 2-0. But then the Sharks started getting moving. Granted, Meier takes a dumb boarding call. It's like, oh, Timo, don't have one of those boring bad games.
That, right after there was a missed call on Hurdle?
Yeah, on the interference call on Hurdle, yeah. Yeah, that's just, that adds that little salt into the wounds and everything.
Yeah.
But then, about 2.5 minutes later, I've always preached this, Dina. Throw the puck on net. Good things can happen. And sure enough, Marc-Edouard Vlasic gets his second. Pickles, first off, he kept it in the zone. Secondly, he scored.
Yeah. They were talking on the broadcast about like, well, if you're a veteran, they just kind of, I'm sure he was in the zone. And then they, during intermission, said like, oh, apparently Vlasic is now the second highest goal scorer of defensemen of Sharks of all time. And that's an example of like, well, if you're around for long enough, even Vlasic. So congrats to goal scoring machine Marc-Edouard Vlasic.
Oh man, yeah. So goal scoring machine Marc-Edouard Vlasic. Yeah, there's two things I haven't heard together in quite some time. Made it 2-1. I thought got the Sharks back in it. Then chaos ensues after like Meyer thought he saw the puck on Markstrom, shot it in. Milosh kind of tapped it in as well. Then Markstrom, gets mad at Milosh. He slashes him in the back, and then he gives him a shot to the place where the sun don't shine. Just 2 minutes?
I have thoughts.
Go ahead. Fire away, my friend.
Why do they not send goalies to the box when they do, like, it's, one thing, like, forced versus unforced error? I guess in the case of goalies, like, clearly nothing, it's like they maybe know they can get away with more. The prime example being the whole Arundel thing, midway through the season when he became everybody's, like, most hated man in the NHL for a few days. Goalies should serve their own penalties if it's, like, something stupid. I guess if the backup goes in and gets hurt, then
yeah,
I don't know, but it's like, you shouldn't be able to be like, oh, I can do whatever I want and I'll make, some grunt on my team sit on the bench. Those are my thoughts.
Yeah.
But right around there was kind of a turning point in the game, that and the penalty shot. So, karma did us good.
Yeah, and I was like, oh, really? I thought that should have been a 5-minute major, especially where he stuck his stick where the sun don't shine. I'm like, that felt a little cringeworthy. But
but
2-1 after 1 for Calgary. You kept them within a goal. You outshot them. I think it was like 14-9 or 14-10. So it's like after that rough start, bounce back for the Sharks.
Yeah. Have you gotten to the penalty shot yet?
All right, I'll move it along. Backlund scores 4 minutes in to make it, 3-1 Calgary, and then Lucic takes a stupid hooking call on Merkley. Sharks didn't do anything with that, but then the breakaway for Johnny Gaudreau, and Burns gets called for slashing. All he does was kind of move Gaudreau's elbow a little bit. Still got a shot off. A couple of games ago we had, what was it, Hurdle? They said, well, you got the shot off, so no penalty. So what gives?
I don't know.
So you go in, Gaudreau, I think he's still out there trying to work on that penalty shot move. He was just bobbing and weaving, and then Reimer gives the glove save.
Like, nah.
So
not today.
Not today. Not tomorrow. Not this season.
Today, I gotta plug in my computer. Sorry.
Uh-oh. She's plugging in computer. So while that happens, that's because it was on fire like the Sharks were after that penalty shot, because that was a big change.
No, we're firefighters over here.
Oh, boy.
Undefeated versus Calgary.
Indeed. But like you said, Dana, that was a big change in the game with the glove save. Because then all of a sudden you got Timo 2.5 minutes later from a crazy angle scores. He gets his 27th to make it 3-2, and they're like, okay, we got this.
Yeah, no, I'm glad he came through for us. I'm seeing now he's the first star of the game. I'm sure he's not having a great time right now, but at least he's got that going for him.
Right.
Yeah. No, it's good to see him come through, because there have been points kind of during this month, I'd say, and a little of February, where he had some slow games. He wasn't showing up as much all the time, which wasn't what we saw in the first part of the season. It was like right after the 5-goal game, like he got it all out of his system and expectations were sky high. But he's definitely been producing again recently. Fingers crossed he's not out for too long. Like, it's weird saying all these good things, but I guess we'll get there.
Yeah, we hope that he's going to be okay. I don't know, what was it, a slip? It was a slip out or something that he tweaked his leg. I mean, it could be a knee, could be an ankle, but definitely couldn't put any weight on it, which was a major bummer. Let's see, we had that questionable elbowing by Matthew Tkachuk on Gadjevich, which kind of started, some little chippiness there. VL said something to Kelly Sutherland, so it's a 10-minute misconduct to go with it. But then the Sharks get 2 goals in 28 seconds. First, Barabanov. Okay, jerk. Here, let me get it. Announce the Barabanov re-signing already. Yes, I got it for you, bud. And then Couture. I don't know how, but that went in to give it a 4-3 lead. Dana. Again, it happened. It happened Sunday night against the Coyotes.
Yeah. I mean, first of all, on the Barabanov goal, I love that. That kind of goal is, what we kept him around for, and I'm so glad we do. And I am definitely on team extend Barabanov. Those silky hands. He's in the right places at the right time. So that was great. And then the Couture thing, I looked away for 2 seconds and they're like, it's in. And then they show Couture on the bench at one point having a totally blank face, which is very on brand. Hey, whatever. Cool.
Right?
Yeah, this game is karma's a bitch, I think.
So they get that 4-3 lead. You get that team effort at the end, though. They played for Reimer. I love Barabanov blocking the shot with a minute and a half to go. I mean, overall, a 4-3 win, which started out pretty bad. I mean, Dana, pretty solid one to get 2 points out of.
Yeah, again, they could have made it easy for me, but unfortunately, I have 8 sticky notes full of random things.
Well, whip them out. What do you got? What do you got to share? Come on.
For sure. Okay, the power play goal. Yeah, I'm just going hurdle. Let's see what else.
She's constantly.
Oh yeah, I love how. Oh my God, who was it? Yeah. I switched to the radio broadcast at one point, so I can't remember who said this, but might have been Brownie saying this is a yardstick game for both teams. I was thinking no, I think they know where they are. I think Calgary knows they're good, and even I noticed a small change also where Brownie was saying things like, "Oh well, at this point in the season, we're giving more time to young players, so that's as close as we're gonna get to. We're not making the playoffs." In his contract, that's the worst thing he can say about the team.
Right.
So, yeah, I think one of the other reasons that penalty shot was kind of a turning point is because Gaudreau got real bitter about it.
Yeah.
On the bench, and I think Reimer just throughout the game obviously nothing but good things to say. I mean, Calgary's a good team. I don't fault him for either of the goals, honestly, that he let in. But he keeps his cool. That's one thing about him that I really, really appreciate. He's not one of those goalies who, is going to get heated like, Markstrom did, or,
right.
Binnington has made his brand.
Ain't that the truth?
I also have a Post-it note that just says 88 and 65 on the same power play unit. Again, Merkley all on his own. What are we doing? What? Why? If I could, when I die and go to heaven, my first question for God is going to be, I want to get in Bob Bugner's head. I think one time Burns and Carlson on their unit, they scored a power play goal and it was here's our proof. This is what we got to do. And then you leave Merkley out there with no other defenseman, which is great because we've been begging them to trust the rookies, but not like that.
Yeah. You're like, oh, sure. Now you're going to trust the rookies, and sure. Now he's like, help. Speaking of Merkley, he gets the call up tonight along with Sasha Shimolovich. I try to combine Shimolevsky and Chekovich there, but Shimolevsky comes up on the fourth line with Viel and Gadjevich. Unfortunately, Viel's out, so you don't see much there. But Merkley on the right side with Erik Karlsson on the left side. I guess it really only lasted a period. What did you take from that?
I don't have thoughts because again, it was a period and we knew it wasn't going to work. So my mind is blank.
And sure enough, what does Bob do? He puts Karlsson on the left side with Burnsy. No, not just a power play, but just Really, Bob? What are you trying to do? You know?
There's no one else you can throw in there to, again, as Brownie put it so bluntly, we have to give young players a chance at this point in the season, or whatever it was. So I don't know. Who are some of the other, young? I guess is Shimmick's still benched?
Yeah.
Is he somewhere? I don't know. Why it could work.
Yeah, I mean, he could be back. I mean, he's on the left side, and let's be honest, he was a Burns whisperer, along with many others, for a number of years. But overall, James Reimer, 28 saves on the night. He looked, like you said, nice, calm, and poised. He didn't give up the rebounds too much. I thought. I thought overall he had a solid night, all around, and.
Felt bad for him on that first goal where you see his arm go up and he's got his glove hand ready and it just goes right past him. Yeah. But I think at the end of the game, you see a shot of him and he's like, he's having his little like Zen moment. Like he's someone who just I don't know. I love him. I love that man with every fiber of my being. I was during the trade deadline, my Twitter was literally just how many minutes were left until I could be confident that Reimer wouldn't be gone.
Right. No, he had a phenomenal night. Again, that glove save on the penalty shot was just chef's kiss. I can't wait for Steve Dangle to see that and go, "Oh, that's I'm so proud of my hockey dadders."
He owns his book.
I know, right?
And his wife that he's read at least part of it.
Just part of it.
at least part of it. I'm presumably the whole thing, but
right. So
a few notes left.
Oh, okay. I'll mention here that was a nice night for the time on ice. Carlson and Burns just a little bit over almost 24 and a half minutes, so got to see even distribution of time. That's nice. But you have Post-it notes. I need to hear more Post-it notes. Oh. Come on.
Oh, yeah.
She's looking.
Yeah, on the broadcast, and again, I can't remember if this was the radio or the TV broadcast, that Myers scores while Markstrom was admiring his own save. I just thought that was so funny. He was kind of caught out of position. Yeah, I think I'm not a goalie, but as Steve Dangle says, if you're a goalie, tend the goal. Because Steve Dangle says it a lot louder.
Oh yeah, indeed. So, and I'm still surprised by the shot angle on that one, and then the fourth goal. When Gregor takes the shot, I don't think Markstrom knew where it was. It went to Couture and it snuck in for the game winner. Nice to see Couture getting his 21st.
Yeah.
Barabanov, trying to make his contract even larger with a goal and an assist on the night. And
boys, hard. Barabanov, just be bad, please, for the rest of the year, and then be good again.
What else was there? I thought I saw. I think this was like the first time that Calgary lost in regulation after having a period after two periods, having a lead after 2 periods. So that was nice. Our friend Darren Stevens at Shark Stats, 7 of Barabanov's 13 career goals in the NHL have come in the third period.
He's so clutch.
4 of those have tied the game. I mean, the contract's only going to get bigger and bigger. Make it happen right now.
Just the fact that we got him for Antti Suomela, amazing. Yeah. I'm telling you, for all the things we drag DW for the mud for, recent moves, contracts, that kind of thing, he finds those guys. He knows where to find those diamonds in the rough. So, yeah, no, I'm a fan of Barbie.
Yeah, Barbie has been fantastic, even through that hit.
Barbie world, one might say.
Life in plastic, it's fantastic. But I also liked how he threw a hit. Crap, I can't forget. It was Tanev. Tanev hit Hurdle, and Barbie's like, "Oh yeah, I'm going to hit you." Jerk with his Majuel Hope I said that right, Jerk. But 7 of his 10 goals this year are high value. I mean, it's something. And PJ mentioning him, Balsers and Barabanov for practically nothing. You basically just gave up Suomela for it, which is something else. All right, you ready for some comments? Let's get to some of the comments in the yeah, that's right. Stretch it out. You know, we don't want you to pull anything the first night, my friend.
No, it's time for comments.
Ow!
Oh, you can see the reflection of the screen. That's a Teal time.
Nice. She's got props too, people, and post-it notes. Come on.
Setup change, but next time.
Yes, you're doing fantastic, my friend. I think you got in the bag. Don't worry. From Shemalevsky, I'm just not thinking about anything too much, just having fun. It's the best when the guys are having fun, and that's how my game took off with the CUDA.
Not me calling Shemalevsky a bust yesterday. I know, and then I found out he's the leading scorer on the CUDA. I really need to pay more attention.
You pay attention to the CUDA. We'll get that going. Kevin Lacey's we'll let you know.
Insider Kevin Lacey.
Exactly. Some young guys in some big roles tonight. I like Sasha's game tonight. The line switches helped create. I don't know if that got cut off, but yeah, definitely a lot more switches. Reedy moved up to the third line. Sasha centered VL and Gadjevich. So, and again, looking at time on ice, Gadjevich and VL were the only two that I think were under 10 minutes tonight. And that's partly because of the third period, and VL got that 2 and 10. Let's see. What else do we got in here? Guys that got called up played extremely well. Sometimes the best teams bring the best out of you, from Logan. So that's nice to hear from getting the youngsters. Wink, wink, hint, hint, Bob. Youngsters.
Well, apparently now even Brownie's on board, so...
Well, he can be a fudge for being Brownie, but I digress. Moving onward, he was celebrating Brody got traded. Rude. Sutter sent his goalie coach out to address the Calgary media tonight, so no Sutter gems. Come on.
Dang it. I love how he looks when he's mad. He looks like a blobfish.
It's like the old...
He looks like...
just like that bitter beer face.
He's going to win the Jack Adams, so,
All right, we already have a prediction from Dana.
Oh,
Jack... Spoiler. We'll get... Yes, absolutely.
He's going to be an ex-Sharks coach.
Him or Todd McCullen, right?
Yeah.
Let's see. Couture went on about his goal. The ref came over and said no goal, and I said, "Are you kidding me?" He was going to give me a heart attack.
Oh gosh.
Yeah, no. I'm glad they looked at it and called it a goal and made sure that did go in, and it did completely cross the goal line.
Yeah, and then the overhead, and I'm like, who thought that wasn't a goal? Nobody pushes Markstrom. Nobody does anything. It's just went in. Sometimes it's hockey.
And sometimes the teams just have the number, like how San Jose's had their number all year.
Yeah.
It's one of those weird things. It's like, okay, you can have a tough time with Edmonton, but at the same time, the Sharks keep bugging the crap out of us. Damn it. So, Reimer
in Calgary's head.
Yeah, and I love it. Let's get more teams in their head and make them thrown off their game, like a certain team that plays in Nevada, who's having all kinds of psychological and injury issues too, we should say, but I digress. Reimer came up big and was solid all year. He was our first star tonight.
Technically Timo was, but...
yeah. Technically Timo.
Official thing, but I would have given Reimer the first star.
Absolutely. Meyer wasn't in the locker room when I got there.
Ooh.
Oh boy. That's a little concerning.
It's a lot concerning.
Yeah. Bob continues on with started slow and didn't manage the puck in the first. We got some bounces that gave us some energy once we got going. A pretty responsible game. Barabanov going down and eating that puck shows you how hard these guys want to win. Okay, well, I'm glad that's happening now.
Well, I think there have been a few games, well, not a few, more than a few, a handful, where the effort wasn't there. But still, compared to last season, I'm just even I was thinking to myself as I watched the beginning of this game, I rarely have that just gross, sinking feeling, the same way, they look like they're having fun most of the time. They look like they like each other as people. They look like, that they have a team identity. So, I mean, I'm excited to see them be spoilers for the rest of the season. And I feel like now that everyone's on the same page about the playoffs, I will admit I held on to hope a lot longer than most people because I'm pretty generally optimistic about, how well my team is going to do as you'll continue to learn. But I don't, this game, even when we were down, I was like, my eyes aren't bleeding, so to speak.
You were after 2-0, it's oh crap, here we go. But then it's oh, okay, sounds good. All right, this works.
We've seen we've had a lot of kind of foiled comeback attempt games, especially the midway through the season. But I think that I still like to see that because it shows there's a fight in them. There's not a sense of we're down 2 goals. Screw it. I'm just thinking about what I'm gonna eat after the game. They'll fight back. No matter what. And I like to see that.
Yeah, you like to see at least a fight back. I mean, we saw that against the Avalanche, where they didn't tie it, but they made it interesting 4-3. Then you have Arizona, where you saw that frustrating goal from Lawson Krause to make it 2-1, and then the Sharks come back with 2 to tie it and then give the lead. Shout out Noah Gregor, way to go, bud. And then tonight, the same thing. You've seen what Reimer's done for this team. You can talk about Meyer, you could talk about Hurdle, but Reimer, I think, has done a hell of a job. And it's crazy. And kudos to Reimer for sticking with it and hanging in there.
Yeah. Do we have him for another year, or
yes.
was it? We do. Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Good.
Oh,
I thought so, but
like I said, I think it on the trade deadline show. I think if Bonino and Nieto and Reimer had just 1-year deals, I could see maybe I see teams grabbing them. So. But but that's it. The Sharks win 4-3 over Calgary. They are on a 2-game winning streak. They can go for 3 in a row for the first time since January. Thursday night against Edmonton, where Capo Kakinen, I gotta be careful with that name, is gonna make his Sharks debut. I already love that he's already got a mask ready to go, which is awesome. Have you seen it?
I need to get on his social media. Is it on Twitter or?
Let me see if I can break it in for you. I may not have it on me right now, but yeah, if you ever see it, it's pretty cool. Kind of a standard Sharks mask. I wonder if the Sharks have that all ready to go for anybody to fill in, but pretty cool. And I remember this guy looked really sharp for Minnesota. I'm really excited to see how he does.
Yeah. I think it's going to be good for him and Hill to have a little competition. I mean, obviously Hill's out right now, but and it also takes a little pressure off Savchenko, because I think he did what he could, and he won a game, but he still needs a little more time. I do think he can. I think he still has upside.
Yeah, he definitely still has upside, and kudos to him. Like Ian said, I don't think there's a whole lot for Sawchenko to do too much, but when he's come in, he's played very well.
Well, I disagree with Ian on that.
Oh boy,
Ian hates Sawchenko deeply as a person. He's a sworn enemy.
Oh boy, I can't wait for a three-way after dark with you and Ian going at it. That ought to be fun.
Okay, look, goalies, they take longer. There are these guys who are like 30 and suddenly, they're no, that guy's having a lot of fun at the CUDA game.
Yeah.
There's the dude like, woo. Yeah, no, goalies take a little longer because it doesn't matter if you can skate the fastest and have, when you're a goal, there's just different skill sets. So I don't know. I think he's still too young to say whether or not he will or won't be NHL caliber. But he doesn't need to be. We're not, we're not like, oh God, if Sawchenko doesn't pan out, what are we going to do? We've got Goodrow in the pipelines. I'm a fan. We have a lot of goalies right now. But I believe in you, Sawchenko.
Yeah, no, he's filled in very nicely, whether he has a future with the team or not, or in the NHL. I mean, it'd be nice to have. It's a nice problem to have with this goalie depth that Sharks have. Of course, with Melnichuk getting sent off to the Tampa Bay organization. I think he's reporting to Orlando in the ECHL. So
I'm just laughing at his comment.
This is what I get for phrasing. I'm not gonna put him up there. And even AJ mentioned Jumbo with Kakinen. So I digress. So let's get you an update on the CUDA.
Ooh, Barracuda.
Your San Jose Barracuda are playing currently right now. It's about 1:52 according to the game that we have going on the screen right here. Barracuda are down 2-1. They got off to a nice start with a nice booming clapper from Brinson Pasnichuk to make it 1-0, like a minute and a half into the game. Matthew Phillips tied it about midway through the first, and after Justin Kirkland made it 2-1 with about 8.5 left in the third period, the Heat just got empty netter as we speak, so they are on their way to a victory in the Shark Tank tonight. So thought I'd give you a little bit of an update. Sawchenko is playing in this one tonight as well, so but he had to deal with, I believe, if I'm not mistaken, he had to deal with like 17 shots in the first period. It's like, oh, the defense hasn't changed, whether it's the Sharks or the CUDA.
Yes.
So.
Hey, this is Marge.
Oh, yes.
From Game of Thrones.
Marge, is it?
Marjorie, from Game of Thrones.
Ah.
Tag, look, it says the Queen. Oh, she is not happy.
She's not happy. Boy.
Happy, baby, the Sharks won.
She sounded like if Daryl Sutter was a cat, that's what it would sound like.
Gosh.
Dang.
So you take to that.
So.
We're a hell of a lot cuter, aren't we?
So.
No, she would be super sassy.
Yeah.
I told you were gonna be on camera.
We warned you. Eric Landy saying #TealTown Pets. Yes, I'm like the only dog guy on this program now. What else? Jerk, thank you. Pashnuk. No I in there. I was trying to sneak that I in there. My bad. So large Marge from AJ. My girlfriend.
The vet was very proud of her. So.
My girlfriend Kitty. Yeah. Your cat still thinks I'm evil. So. Well, and Mark, see, you got everybody in here tonight. Mark saying a Game of Thrones reference. You know,
Yes.
where do you have your Game of Jones bobblehead around you?
Too.
See, she's a Game of Thrones fan there too, folks. So
Um, I'm a Game of Thrones fan in remission. We all are. But I'll probably watch the spinoff anyway. Yeah, I literally used to have a Daenerys poster. That worked out great for me.
how so?
Oh, did you watch Game of Thrones? Okay.
I was too busy watching hockey. You know, you know how many times I watched that third period of the Sharks Giants Game 7.
No, same.
Also-
I watched that like once a
But
week.
I gotcha. So, I know we don't do the wraparound anymore, but how about those Vegas Golden Knights?
Oh, I want to talk about it so bad.
Let it at it. 4-0. The Jets get the Knights shut out, and I think they're on a long road losing streak for the Knights.
Yeah. Well, they had I don't know. They're not on okay. They're on a 2-game losing streak because they did win 2 games, but as a general trend, I thought I didn't even realize they were playing tonight. I just wanted to talk about the Dadanov dumpster fire.
Yeah, they're still trying to figure that out.
I feel like they can't have the trade go through if he turned his list in on time. Vegas knew they were going to be trading him. It wasn't like at 2:30 p.m. Eastern time suddenly Kelly McCrimmon's like, maybe I should trade Dadanov. No, this should have been a discussion a while ago. If you're like, oh, we have it written down here that this guy has a 10-team no trade list. Where is it? Maybe we should make sure that the team we're trying to send him to isn't on it. It's sad. It's embarrassing. I like, even if the agent didn't turn something in or whatever it may be, bruh, you knew you were going to be trading this guy. This was not some kind of last minute error. I don't know.
It's very awkward.
Embarrassed. It's like third-hand embarrassment.
It's very awkward because, of course, they're going to say, well, Ottawa didn't tell us about this. And then the Knights are like, really? You didn't look? There's a thing called cap friendly that you can maybe look at things.
Free.
I think one of the guys that started Cap Geek, I think he ended Cap Geek because I think he was going to the Vegas organization. So come on. But either way, it's going to be awkward. It's like you're either going to Anaheim to a place you didn't want to go to, or you're going to be with Vegas knowing that the team didn't want you.
Yeah, and that you were being moved away as a piece to make room for somebody else. I don't know. They do not deserve to make the playoffs. I really hope Dallas makes it over them. Really, really.
And I know, I know Dallas won tonight, so I'm looking at the standings right now. Let's see.
They officially dropped out.
Yeah, they're officially
Dallas
down.
has 4 games in hand, and Nashville has 3 games in hand.
You gotta love it.
Has 5 games in hand.
Yeah, so Dallas leapfrogs the Golden Knights. Yeah, they have 4 games in hand. Nashville has 3 games in hand. Still a race. I mean, I know Vancouver and Winnipeg are kind of still in it, but they started to separate that. But it's gonna be. Oh, that's right. Thank you, Jerk. I knew it was something. I think it was General Fanager. My apologies. Thank you, Jerk. Appreciate it. So,
Rest in Cap Geek.
Person. And AJ saying, how does Vegas not get his NTC when he was acquired? Yeah, I agree.
Willful negligence.
Yeah. So I think that's pretty much it. I'll do the same presser that I did with Ryan the other day. So, first time around, how do you feel? How did it go this night?
Good. Other than my last minute setup change, it's fun. I love public speaking. I'm super weird in that regard. And I mean, it was a great game to break down. Unfortunately, the Sharks did not make it easy for me to just come on here and say Sharks bad, good night.
That's you're like kind of want to go to bed, and yeah,
No, I
fair enough. Good night.
after this, so I wasn't going to go to bed anyway.
Oh, gotcha. What do you major in?
So I am a lab manager. So I graduated, I finished my undergrad in May. So it's like a paid position, and then I'm planning to go to grad school in a few years. But yeah, no, it's interesting. Everybody thinks I'm a grad student, so I guess I just let them believe that.
So, she is at Dana Mai with 2 Y's. I'm at PuckGuy14 on the Twitter and the Instagram. If you missed anything or you want to watch this again, check us out on tealtownusa.com or your favorite podcatcher, whether it's Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts. Hit that subscribe button. I want to say thank you to everyone. We have reached 2,600 subscribers yesterday, so thank you, everyone. You can also check us out on SoundCloud, Spotify, TuneIn, and iHeartRadio, and of course, always at tealtownusa.com. So we'll be back with you on Thursday night following Sharks and Oilers. Should be another interesting one. Evander Kane again. Oh boy.
Who?
Some guy named Evander Kane.
Oh, does he have anything to do with this bobblehead of a dog?
It's a precious dog, though.
Yeah.
But Dana, thank you so much. You've won over everybody. I think I might get fired eventually. That you might take over hosting the thing. So, but all around awesome stuff. Guys.
Agent for details.
Guys, I'm gonna go on a limb and say we're gonna keep her. Okay, just saying. We'll have to have the discussion, but we'll keep her. Yeah. See, AJ's already like, get Dana in the Discord. All right. So.
I am technically.
Yeah, she is technically. So, Dana, your final thoughts and where the people can find you.
Well, just a disclaimer, my Twitter's kind of a mess and you're not going to see mostly hockey stuff there. So if you're also a fan of RuPaul's Drag Race, you'll love it. But the Venn diagram of fans may not have a ton of overlap. But yeah, you can find me there. You can follow me on Instagram if you want. It's exactly the same, Dana May. However, the social media account that I really want to plug is Margie's Instagram. I care way more about my cat's social media. I'm her momager, like Kris Jenner is to her children. So it's at Margie, MARGIE _ the Queen.
Oh my gosh! Here, let me just do this really quick for you. MARGIE.
Yeah. Underscore between Margie and the Queen.
Of course, we got to respect the underscore.
Between Margie and
underscore the
yeah.
Queen. Got it. Okay. Just here, we'll just make it a little bit easier for everybody. Boom. There you go. So that'll do it for us. We will be back with you following Sharks and Oilers. That's a 6 p.m. start. Should be interesting to see how they work with that. Can the Sharks win 3 in a row for the first time since January? Oh my gosh. It should be fun. So,
probably not.
Well, that's awkward. All right. Well, you don't need to watch Thursday now. She already said we're going to lose. Jeez. Jerk, she's already going for 4 scene points for crying out loud.
Sharks, come on.
So the conversation continues on the Discord now. So until Thursday, keep it real, keep it teal, keep it real, teal. Have a great night, everyone. Who will see you on Thursday night.